I come from Tunisia, and I live in Sfax, the second biggest city in Tunisia. But my origin is from a small village named Jbeniana, 60 miles away from the big city. In this village lived one of my cousins named Rauda. Rauda worked with her husband to raise, as farmers, to raise 3 children. When she knew that she had breast cancer, it was too late because she couldn't offer health care needed for her case. Unfortunately, she died and left her children without mom. The case of Rauda is not unique in Tunisia. There is a big cancer in our country about cancer, and especially breast cancer. If we compare Tunisia to the state of Michigan, we see that the incidence rate of the breast cancer is 3 times lower in Tunisia than in Michigan. However, the recovery rate is 90% in Michigan and 11% in Tunisia. The main factor for this problem is a big delay in diagnosis related to rural living. So the priority now is to improve these diagnoses. The solution proposed by Biotech Health is to produce locally the kits used for the diagnosis to ensure a continuous availability of these kits. If we see the diagnosis process performed by doctors, we see that doctors start by performing mammography to see if there is any abnormal body in the breast. Once they detect this body, they must confirm the diagnosis by getting a biopsy and sending it to medical lab to perform in vitro diagnosis in order to see if it contains cancer cells or no. So Biotech Health proposed to improve this crucial step of diagnosis. Our kit will be composed of a main product or a core product, which is the antibody, and to which we will add other supplies. The cost per kit is about $65, covering or including the product costs and the operating costs. The selling price will be 5% lower than the competitor, since in the medical community quality is perceived in price, and the margin will be of 93%. What makes our kit competitive? First, it will be the first kit produced in Tunisia with many advantages. Cheaper, same quality, usually available, and no government restriction, no license, no custom fees. For Tunisia also, we will propose to provide a free technical support and free sample. Our primary target customer will be private medical laboratories, since the majority of these tests are performed in these laboratories. Well, we got this opportunity through a discussion with one of the most famous doctors working in the field in Sfax. He felt frustrated by the continuous increasing of the price of the imported imported kit, and by the problem of availability. And the secondary market target customer will be hospitals and university laboratories. We will target first the market of Sfax and around, then we will expand to the Tunisian territory, and later the neighbor markets of Libya and Algeria. The addressable market is the in vitro diagnosis market. The Tunisian market represents 2.8% of the global African markets, whereas the neighbor markets of Libya and Algeria represent 13% of this market. Both Tunisian and neighbor markets are expected to increase in 2016 of about 25 to 30%. We will introduce this market through a collaboration with a sales company. We have already a sales partner agreement with a well-known selling company in Tunisia, which is named Science and Santé. And the owner of this company has good relationships with private medical laboratories, the decision makers in private medical laboratories and in hospitals. The company also has already penetrated the neighbor market of Libya and Algeria. Concerning the competitors, we have main advantages. First, our kit will be cheaper, but the main advantage is the availability. In fact, the hard part of performing this kit is to produce the antibody, the core product. Once we get this antibody and store it in the freezer, we are able at any time to get it, to label it, to add the supplies, and to deliver it in 3 days to 1 week after ordering. Another advantage for these core products is that we can label it in different ways and sell it for different applications. In this case, also, our prices are very competitive. As a growth strategy, we plan to produce other kits for other cancer disease. Later, we plan to produce monoclonal and polyclonal antibodies for research and human diagnosis applications. Then we plan to produce recombinant proteins for therapy and human diagnosis applications. And at the end, we plan to perform a scale-up production for veterinary diagnosis. For these 3 last activities, we will work through a strategic partnership to ensure the market. For launching the startup and for the growth strategy, we are asking for different round or multiple round of funding. We have already get first round of funding of 26,000 as grant and equity, and now we are asking for the first round is 227 for launching the startup and the prototype development. The second round of funding is of 680 for production facilities, and the last one is of 470,000 for scale-up production. This funding will be used as follows. Since we get the first round and we will launch the startup, we will work to develop the prototype. And when we will be able to sell it, and we get the second round of funding, we will start the production facilities, which is the lab level. And finally, when we establish our strategic partnership and we get the final round of funding, we will be able to launch the scale-up production. Our team is composed of me. I am founder and CTO. I am co-founder of a previous biotech startup since 2008. I am a scientist. I have 2 PhDs, and I have 20 years experience in the biotech research. Mrs. Gerard, as operation manager, she has a bachelor in biotech, in health applied biotech, and she has an experience of 5 years in biotech industry, and Ms. Gafsi as marketing executive. She has 4 years experience in selling to private medical laboratories and to hospitals. We will supported by an advisor board. So this startup will help to save lives of many Tunisian women diagnosed breast cancer, and we will prevent unnecessary death, like the case of my cousin. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, very nice. My concern is around the patent protection and that what freedom to operate do you have or will you have? The antibody you will be making yourself, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And so do you have patent protection for that? Is it different from what is out there already being sold as part of the reagents
we can patent our product in Tunisia. We can protect our product.
But the existing products don't have protection there now?
You mean the competitor, or
yeah.
The competitor is imported from outside, is not produced in Tunisia.
I understand that, but do their patents, are they covered in Tunisia on their products?
Yeah, but it will be not the same. It's the same technology. All this technology is mastered by any people. It's the same technology, but not the same product.
So your product has some distinguishing features that are patentable and protected?
Yeah.
Thank you. Very enriching and enlightening about these incidences in the MENA region. My question is, you said you're going to produce the antibody locally and you're going to put the kit together locally. So are you, I'm just wondering in terms of sort of facility and production, are you using like what, goats or rabbits or
different types. For this especially
okay.
Goats.
Okay, so because I'm trying to get to whether it's a polyclonal versus a monoclonal.
No, in this case,
in terms of sort of the reproducibility of the antibody in terms of the response of the animal to the antibody.
Yeah.
I don't want to get technical.
In this case, it's polyclonal.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That's
Is the price that sensitive that if you drop the price just a few $100s, you would have a tremendous advantage?
It's, I can tell you from personal experience.
Yeah.
I'm Walid, and we have a consulting firm since 2004, and most of our work, almost 75%, is in the MENA region. So we've worked with organizations, government, and companies in the GCC and North Africa. And perception there, in terms of quality, equates with price. You jack up the price, you get buyers.
Like product.
So I can tell you from personal experience that a Gucci imitation sells almost as the price of a Gucci, with a couple of $100 difference.
It's an important difference from our market.
So I mean, with this particular, I think it's just because it's international in flavor. So understanding sort of patent laws and understanding the type of protection that exists is a little bit different from the way it exists in the U.S. and North America. So culturally, it's a little bit different. So patent laws don't weigh a whole lot.
Exactly.
Good, thank you. That's helpful.
Thank you. you, Waleed. I think you raised an important kind of component of listening to Souad's presentation. The market in which she lives is so different from ours that it's really difficult for us to understand fully how to react. Our relationship with Souad has been enriching, I think, in both ways, not necessarily only as it relates to our supporting her in terms of developing her pitch and understanding her first market. We certainly hope to continue our relationship with her and help her think about her second, third, and fourth markets, which may include international markets and coming back here, but our support was really focused on strengthening her understanding of her value proposition, where she sits, and gaining confidence in her presentation. And the growth we've seen is extraordinary. So we thank you for spending some time with us and with her as we watched her kind of develop through this relationship. I am convinced we've learned more than she has, but it's been just a delight to learn from each other. So thank you for your questions, and thank you, Souad, for your presentation.
Thank you. Thank you.